call the meeting to order. If you would please stand, we'll have the pledge and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any visitors who wish to address the board on an agenda item tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Mr. President, I'd like to adopt the agenda that we have at our tables with the additions as made here.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda at our place. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the minutes, we have the June 19th, 2020 regular board meeting minutes.
Motion to approve that submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the June 9th, 2020 regular board meeting minutes. Any discussion on those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Before we move on, I have a little thank you here I'd like to make to Mansfield King out of Indianapolis and Stephanie Ludy, the safety director at Mansfield King, and Bill Scheidler, the elementary school principal. We received a very generous donation of 1,344 4-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer. So those will be certainly be put to good use. So we appreciate the donation and Mr. Scheidler's help in procuring those. Okay. Reports, superintendent's report, Mr. Ronk.
I have several things. I don't think any of them will take very long, but I think we probably received the best news we could have received when the governor announced that they were not going to cut our education funding. And so our tuition support is going to stay the same at least through this school year, this coming school year, and into 2021. So that is just fantastic news that I thought there was no way that was possible. And to back that up is more good news, and Andrea has some specifics, but we got our property tax draw, we got our advance draw, we got our regular draw. This just today, we got the details of it, and we received 99% of the amount that we received the year before. So again, I was never anticipating that it would be nearly that high, so that's great news. We are soon going to get some fairly substantial title and special ed reimbursements. Some of those funds have been in the red, been negative funds for a long time, and Allison has managed to get those things rewritten, get them approved, and now we can start being reimbursed for expenditures that we've made all the way back for 2 years. So we're talking about over $200,000 that will come into our budget. I met with Baker Tilly and with Ice Miller today about our refinancing. That's very close. It's not quite there yet, but it could happen very soon. So that again will save us a substantial amount of money. And one of the things the board's going to have to consider, and we'll discuss it, I think in detail in July, is whether we're going to move the energy savings plan, the bond, into debt service. And so that's about $270,000 a year that we currently pay out of operations. That would be for 2021 moved to possibly to debt service. The bond savings that we're talking about may make that pretty painless. We hope that that's the situation, but again, it's something we need to have on our radar. I sent you a letter today from Greg, and he has been working very hard on getting the equipment going. He's got both high school chillers working. They had to update software and a couple controllers there. I think they're waiting for parts on one. But it's both of those are working. The science wing is working now very well. And the guy who did the work said it should work well since the machinery hasn't worked forever, that it's like brand new. So that's good news, and hopefully that part of that wing will be taken care of. Just like the sanitizer, we jumped on an opportunity through the governor's office to get free masks, so they are sending us 1,400 free masks for students, and so we will have those to distribute to people that want to wear them. And final thing I would say is we're working on our master plan for COVID, for reentry. Got really good input from that committee that we created, and having some really good exchanges. So we'll develop that plan and present that to you as soon as possible.
Questions on those items, Mr. Ron? Thank you. Routine matters. Is there anyone on the board that feels the need to pull any item off here? Can we do all the routine matters is one motion? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Ron, you want to pursue any routine matters?
Did you have any comments on any of the claims or the financial report, Andrea?
I don't think so. Just the transfer was due to, the formative assessment grant I was working with Anne Marie on. We were trying to find, we were trying to find where the money came in, what was actually spent, and researching that, I found that the money was just deposited into the education fund, but then the expenses were paid out of textbook rental. So we need to just transfer from the education fund back to textbook rental, because it really should have come out of the education fund where that was receipted into. And next year it will be its own separate fund, so.
And that transferred language is included and should be part of the approval of the financial report. If you have the fund report, hopefully in front of you, there's some really, there's some good news there, and you can see that our education fund is in better shape than it's been in for a while, but as you would expect, debt service and retirement to be, and of course operations, but that the problem is now we go through December without replenishing those, and so they will drain down. The cafeteria fund, the 0800 fund, has almost 300,000 in it, and you have some bids to look at tonight, and there's enough money within that fund to pay for all of that equipment should you approve it. On the second page, you'll see 4 funds highlighted that have been, like I say, deficit funds for quite a while, and those will soon be reimbursed and moved to positive. And the final thing I would point out is if you look at the bottom line, it's maybe a little while since we've had a cash balance of $5 million. It won't last, but it's nice to look at. So.
You want to go ahead and address this and get it on?
Sure. We have B, section B is the employment of classified staff. These are the remainder of the coaching positions for our fall sports, and also then there's some items there that are specific to employment with student, and also then the employment with Bobby Ellison at number 12 as the combination of doing the middle school and high school treasurer. We have a new speech person. That would be Emily Mundy, and that's a great find again on Allison's part, and that's going to save us considerably, because As I said, we were looking at spending over $100,000 from contracted services if we had not found a person to take that position. We added one item, a resignation from Ashton Jones for high school math, and that was last minute, but we wanted to get it on here so we'd have the opportunity to post the position. It's going to be a very difficult position to fill.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the routine matters?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the routine matters. Any questions or discussions on those items? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 5, new business. Approval of purchase of additional security cameras from the 2019 bond. Ron, do you have any?
No, Mr. Gear is here if you want to ask him any questions, but he received 3 bids, and fortunately, the company that we've worked with and we know well had by far the lowest bid at $20,005. And it's a fairly healthy addition, and I think will help add certainly to our security.
We have a motion to accept that, and we'll have some discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve purchase of additional security cameras for renovations.
Second.
Hey, we have a motion and a second. Floor is open for questions. Mr. Gears and waiting.
Scott, how many cameras is that again now?
Let me ask you that. There's 2 in the corp office. I think there's 1 at the baseball facility, 1 at the football facility. I think there's 4 at the elementary, and then there's a couple at the high school. I haven't looked at it since the last meeting, to be honest with you, so I haven't,
Talking about 10, approximately.
yeah.
What's the time frame for these being installed and up and going?
They're based out of Lafayette, and they're doing what they can right now with bringing this times to keep everybody local as they can, so they told me they'd get us in pretty quickly. So hopefully within a month and a half, they'll have everything in. I guess I have to order equipment first, and then once it's ordered, they'll schedule it real quick.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the additional security cameras from the 2019 bond. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. B, the approval of purchase of the middle school, high school lunchroom equipment.
It's the same bid that you have seen previously, and they restructured it, created 3 bids out of it so that it would be clear what was going into each building. And so it's $76,000 at the high school, $108,000 in addition for a serving area for the high school kitchen, and then middle school washroom, $34,000. Total is $218,874.30. And we will hopefully see this get done before school starts.
Okay, we're looking for a motion on the approval of lunchroom equipment.
I move we approve the purchase of middle school, high school lunchroom equipment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions?
That includes installation?
Yes.
Would it be possible to get that list added to our minutes of what we're actually buying? I know we had a last meeting.
Yes, we have the complete bids.
Yeah.
So is any of this equipment able to be reused? Is anything from here that will replace it, can it be used again, or you know, have to use something like that?
I don't think they're gonna have to do anything. I think we need to get a freezer for over there, so that they don't have to use a weight to keep the freezer door shut. But other than that, no, I don't think so. Again, some of this was 28 and 20 years old and maybe even older. And so I think it's served its useful life.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the lunchroom equipment. All in favor, say aye, please. Opposed? Motion passes. C, administration contract extensions. We have those listed for Melissa Gill, Bill Schreiber, Jake Reddick, Anne Marie Circle, Kevin Sims, Al Brannon, Alyssa Clayton, and Ross Beaver. Looking for a motion.
Mr. President, I move to approve the administrative contract extension as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion.
We have their amended job responsibilities and descriptions finished.
Yeah.
We have the benefits summary finished.
No.
With that being said, I make a motion that we table this until the July meeting. At that time, we can have, completed administrator job descriptions and benefits summary, to the examinable along with the approval.
Thank you. Do we have a second on that table motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table this until the July 13th meeting. Questions? Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye, please. Opposed? Motion passes. Other business. The approved memorandum of understanding. Mr. Ronk, is this,
If you'll remember, there were references to Legessi in there, all that language was taken out, and the economics of it is roughly still all the same, but it's been cleaned up and it's now all corrected.
does anybody have an objection to doing the three items under other business under one motion? Number two.
And after our last meeting, the North Central Nursing, that group sent me a updated, and it had a 2-year life term to it, which I thought made more sense than making it in perpetuity. So I signed off on that. I just want you to be aware of it, and it was signed on 6/10 and then would expire in 6/22.
Number three.
There is a, here. I was approached by Baker Tilly and Ice Miller, and they said it's always better to, reveal any kind of financial information rather than taking a chance. And all this is a voluntary market notice that says that the school could be impacted by COVID-19, since we don't know what will take place. It states how much money we collected from the CARES Act, which is $152,000 that we do have to spend over the next year and longer, and that we have applied for state and federal assistance to offset any financial impact, and that we also, at the beginning of the year, made provision for any kind of short-term borrowing if that was necessary at the end of the year regarding our financial situation. So that would simply be added to our bond information and rating, and would it's something I'm told thousands and thousands of organizations are doing, just to be clear, because the SEC suggested it.
Is is there any, we approved the MOU, we need to redo this as a motion to cleaning up that language?
I
On
would
number
say,
one.
yes, you need to approve the Twin Lakes one.
Okay.
And
The
you
other-
approve the other one, and that's just an update of that same agreement.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion, on A1.
I move that we approve the MOU as presented for life skills program.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions about that? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Future dates and agenda items.
Got it. I think you probably do need to approve that.
Voluntary.
Yeah, notice.
Okay. So we need a motion and a second on the number 3, the voluntary market notice.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the voluntary market notice. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Future dates, there's only one on here, and that's, I believe, 3 weeks from tonight, July 13th, 7 o'clock, regular board meeting. Board comments. Mr. Nipple, would you like to lead off?
Well, I don't know what to say except to appreciate everybody's hard work. Dan, Andrea, Carly, and Allison for their hard work on trying to get all these budgets and things finally straightened out. It's good to see that a balance, a positive balance in there. That may be short-lived, but like Dan said, it's always nice to see that. I appreciate all that you guys do.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
I'll second that. Appreciate you guys being here this evening, the work you're doing. Mr. Gear, I really appreciate having the 3 quotes. That really helps us have a perspective on cost of things. I appreciate that. And I just wish everybody a happy, safe summer.
Thank you. Mr. Meyer?
Not a lot tonight. I do look forward to having, more detailed job descriptions for our administrators and, benefits summary, to clean up, kind of existing people we have and hear about that. So, look forward to that discussion next month.
Thank you. Mr. Schwartzfeld?
Yes, did what everybody else has said. I also wanna, thank Greg for his efforts and staying with things and keeps tweaking everything that, where we just don't have to go outside and just spend dollars on dollars. I'd like to also have a thank you to Sean Ashby. Today he actually came in and repaired the flag, the pole and the rope and everything, bring his lift, put it up, painted the pole when he came down to boot. So along with a couple other community members over there, I'll get their names. They came over, lent some of their loading equipment stuff to move bolts around, so that's all got done too. So again, it's just not Camden, it's our other communities that they do things like that, but those people just have to be out today, I see them, so.
Thank you. Mr. Priest?
I'd like to thank Dan for a good financial news. Like Chris said, might not last, but it's nice for a month, so I appreciate that. I wanna thank Greg for all his maintenance work to get the chiller going again and getting them up to speed. It makes a big difference in kids in the classroom. I'm happy for all of our cafeteria workers now that they'll finally be able to get some much needed cafeteria equipment in place. It's been overdue. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day, and like Chris said, hope everyone has a nice summer.
Thank you. Mr. Strasser?
Nothing additional at this time.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone for being here. Appreciate our employees and all the work that they do, day in and day out, over the summer even. Appreciate Mr. Longworth's work. Every day's an adventure. So, we appreciate all you do.
Well, Thank you, and by the way, those balances are gonna be, not gonna disappear. So if they do, so will I.
That don't sound good.
No, there's some good change, you've made some good changes, and it'll be reflected on there as we go along.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
You guys see the flowers down in that front of the solar panels? And I'll do it for you right now.
I got some things to say. I don't know. We wouldn't sign one. I don't know.
I think there's a